The collapse began without warning. A bridge doesn't just fail in under a minute, without a sign, without a sound, without anything giving it away. And yet, on a cold December evening in 1967, that's exactly what happened. Cars were moving slowly across the Ohio River, headlights glowing through the winter air, when suddenly the structure beneath them gave way. No explosion, no storm, no collision, just steel, silently failing. But what investigators would later uncover was even more disturbing, because the real cause of the collapse wasn't visible. And by the end of this story, you'll understand exactly what happened that night, the hidden flaw, why no one saw it coming, and how a single invisible defect changed engineering forever. The evening of December 15th, 1967 felt ordinary. In Point Pleasant, Christmas lights lined the streets, glowing warmly against the early winter dusk. Families moved along sidewalks wrapped in coats and scarves. Shop windows reflected soft golden light onto snow-dusted pavement. Cars rolled steadily through town, tires cutting through slush as people made their way home. Across the river in Gallipolis, life carried on just the same. And between them stood the Silver Bridge. For decades, it had been more than just a crossing. It was routine, familiar, trusted. That evening, traffic stretched across its steel span, bumper to bumper, slow moving, unremarkable. No one inside those cars had any reason to feel uneasy, because nothing looked wrong, but hidden within the steel beneath them, something had already begun to fail. For nearly 40 years, the Silver Bridge had stood as a symbol of progress. Completed in 1928, it was considered an engineering achievement, efficient, modern, and ahead of its time. But what made the bridge innovative also made it vulnerable. Unlike traditional suspension bridges, which rely on thousands of interwoven steel cables, the Silver Bridge used a different system. I-bar chains, massive steel bars connected by pins, each one carrying a portion of the load. It was a clean design, minimal, efficient, but it came with a critical trade-off. In conventional cable systems, strength is shared. If one strand weakens, the others compensate. The load redistributes. But here, there was no such flexibility. The entire structure depended on the integrity of individual components, which meant if even one of them failed, the forces it carried would instantly transfer to the others. Forces they were never designed to withstand alone. And on that evening, one of those components was already close to failure. At first, it may have sounded like nothing more than a sharp metallic snap, a single sudden noise, easily lost in the hum of engines. But in that instant, everything changed. Drivers had no time to react. One moment, they were sitting in traffic, and the next, the roadway beneath them was gone. Steel twisted, connections failed, the structure gave way. Cars plunged into the freezing river below. Headlights vanished into darkness. Metal folded in on itself. Water erupted as the bridge collapsed in sections. Within seconds, it was over. Dozens of vehicles had fallen into the Ohio River, people trapped inside, with no warning and no escape. And as the last pieces disappeared beneath the surface, one question remained. What could possibly cause something like this? In the moments that followed, chaos spread along the riverbanks. What had been an ordinary evening was now unrecognizable. People ran toward the water. Others stood frozen, staring into the darkness. Emergency crews scrambled to respond. Boats were launched, searchlights cut through the night, voices called out across the river. Families began to gather, some searching, some waiting, all of them hoping for answers. The scale of the disaster became clear quickly. Lives had been lost, dozens gone in seconds, and yet there had been no storm, no collision, no visible cause, nothing that explained how a bridge could simply disappear. Authorities were baffled. A structure like this wasn't supposed to fail, not suddenly, not completely, and certainly not without warning. Early theories began to surface. Overload, material fatigue, possible impact. But one by one, they fell apart. Nothing explained the scale of what had happened. Engineers examined the wreckage piece by piece, every beam, every joint, every connection. They reconstructed the collapse, searching for its origin, but there was no obvious failure point, no massive break, no clear cause until they found something, almost too small to matter. The Silver Bridge relied on a unique I-bar chain system. Unlike traditional cable bridges, where thousands of wires share the load, this design concentrated force into individual components. Each I-bar carried its own share of weight, each pin its own responsibility, and there was no redundancy. In most systems, if one part begins to fail, others compensate. The structure adapts. But here, it couldn't. Every component mattered equally, and every component was critical, which meant the failure of a single piece would not remain isolated. It would spread instantly, relentlessly, until the entire structure gave way. Investigators eventually discovered the cause, a microscopic crack in a single I-bar pin. It was nearly invisible, too small to detect using the inspection methods available at the time, but it had been growing slowly, silently, through stress corrosion, a process where tension and environmental exposure weakened metal from within. Over years, the crack expanded, reducing the strength of the component, little by little, until finally, it failed, and when it did, the load shifted instantly to the surrounding structure. They couldn't tamel it, and within seconds, everything collapsed. The bridge didn't fail that night. It had been failing for years, long before anyone noticed. If you've made it this far, it means you're drawn to the deeper stories behind disasters like this. Not just what happened, but why it happened, and what it reveals about the systems we trust every day. The collapse of the Silver Bridge sent shockwaves across the nation. If a structure like this could fail without warning, what about others? Engineers began to look again. Bridges once considered safe were suddenly questioned. Inspections became more rigorous. New standards were introduced, and design philosophies began to change. Redundancy was no longer optional. It became essential, because the lesson was clear. No structure should depend entirely on a single point of failure. But even with these changes, a deeper concern remained. How many others were already compromised? Could it have been detected? Was the design flawed from the beginning, or was it simply beyond what engineers understood at the time? Even decades later, those questions remain. Because the truth is, failure doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always give warning signs. Sometimes, it builds slowly, hidden beneath the surface, out of sight, out of mind, until one moment when everything gives way, and what remains is not just the loss, but the realization that the most dangerous flaws are the ones we never see.